song, say the mother. You do realize the mic's wrong, right?
No.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is a Tuesday morning, and we got half of the Final Four set. We got NFL Pro Days today. Oh, we got all kinds of things. 49ers out there once again saying that Jimmy Garoppolo is part of their plans. We got it all right here in the next hour in the Sportsocracy. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button here in the channel. And we are live in the Wicked Weed studio. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different.
Yeah, you're welcome for your little theme song leading in. Fuckhead over here has one job. Buttons.
Sorry.
I do all of the things that make it look pretty on the screen. He has one job.
Oh,
make sure my fucking microphone's not on.
Are you offended? Are you offended? Don't be offended. Don't play the victim.
One job.
Let's get into it here. Last night in the Elite Eight, Houston and Oregon. It was Houston took care of business. But, man, those Oregon State Beavers, they really know how to screw you.
5 Beavers weren't better than 1 Cougar. Quentin Grimes is just real damn good.
Oh, fuck yeah. The guy is the guy is good. The whole team is good. Kelvin Sampson has his team back in the Final Four. And, if you had Oregon, or if you had Houston, covering the number, it was bad beat for you.
One of the worst I've ever seen.
Oregon State comes down and hits a 3 with about, 9 seconds left? Something like that? 7 seconds
4.
left?
It was 4.
Was it?
4.2. And he didn't just hit it, he fucking stroked it.
Oh,
dude.
he did. He stroked it.
If they'd done a little more of that, then, it might not have been a problem.
Thankfully, they did not foul at the end to put Houston on the line again.
But they called a timeout, which I love that. We call a timeout down 6, and then they throw the ball in and we just stare at them. Thank you for wasting a minute and a half of all of our times.
Because damn it, they were close to the line. I was watching the over-under because I told you I'd be willing to bet my house on the under on that game, and it was 130, and they were at 128, and could have fouled to try to extend that game. Thank God they did not. But that covered. Oregon State, they covered as well. So if you had Houston minus the 8, it's a little bit of a bad beat.
A little bit of a kick in the dick. I'll call it what it is.
You feel the pain on that more than I do.
I didn't have Oregon State. I thought they were going to get beat by 60. So,
but you didn't have Houston. I thought you had Houston.
I would have, but I didn't.
Right.
I didn't bet it.
All right.
It's still Kelvin Sampson. So.
True. Yes.
Patrick Holt asked what happened with the what's up with the bracket challenge. We're running the bracket challenge. We're going to use that game for something else. By the time we boiled it down to how many people actually had their names on their brackets, somebody was going to do real nice. Like real nice in a way that we may or may not have been able to survive it. See, the thing about that game is it requires you having to bet against other people. There's some logistical issues there, and we did a bad job of saying, hey, put your damn name on shit.
Right.
Thought we covered that in, like, 3rd grade, but there were some good names in the bracket challenge, I will say that.
Good names. What do you mean?
I was trying my best to figure out who these people were based off what I know of the people that were in it.
I got you. That can be a dangerous game.
People that put their names like Fake Tit 17. I felt like that was Michael Whiteside, but I wasn't sure. Not that he has them, he just has a fondness for them. Same way I do.
All of them, really. Real, fake, doesn't matter.
Like a woman in a shoe store. See every pair of them some bitches, bring them out here.
Last night
before you go, I do have a plan with that game that will run over the summer that will be better for everybody. It will be, plus the people whose game it actually is will have their server up by then. I didn't really realize how much of an undertaking that was. Man, then some shit happened that, put some more shit on my plate and, on a diet, trying to watch my figure.
So, get you next time, I guess, is the overall theme to that.
Good for the ones that are slaughtering the bracket game, which I do not even kind of understand.
Who's winning?
As of right now.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were going somewhere with that. I thought you knew off the top of your head.
I know David Smith was killing the game.
Yeah.
A dude that literally told me he hasn't watched a college basketball game all year long.
Oh, this is the armchair guy.
Yeah. That's our Canadian friend.
Gotcha. Anywho, last night, Houston getting to the Final Four. It really is it is a tale of redemption for Kelvin Sampson. I mean, a guy who has been mired in controversy. Well, was mired in controversy for a lot of his coaching career.
He's done. I kind of look at Kelvin Sampson the way I look at Pac-Man Jones.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what you did, but I know that a lot of times you went to a strip club and then people got shot, and then that happened like 6 more times. And I'm not going to say you're the one that did it. I'm just going to say you seem to have a very bad reputation of that shit happening in places that you are.
Right.
It's kind of the Larry Brown effect. Speaking of Larry Brown, have you heard that he may have a new job?
Oh, my gosh, what?
Apparently Mike Woodson wants to hire him on the staff at Indiana.
Oh, God.
Why? Why do you want to do that?
Hiring Larry Brown at a college is kind of like dating a stripper. You know how it's going to end. I mean, it might be fun for a while in between, but the final act of that book is not going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but is it going to be fun? If I were Indiana, I wouldn't let him near my program. If I were any college, I wouldn't let him near my program. But at one time, Kelvin Sampson had this same reputation. I can remember when Houston hired Kelvin Sampson, and we all went, wait, he set every program on fire, which is not necessarily true. But I mean, he had problems as an assistant coach with having some, untoward involvement with recruits and things like that.
He did stuff.
Yeah.
He did stuff that he wasn't necessarily supposed to.
Right.
Cell phones. Him and Hugh Freeze have this same problem with cell phones. It's not good.
No.
Now, Hugh was calling numbers that started with 900, but I don't think Kelvin did that. Might have. You never know.
Who knows? But he had the problems. He had problems at Illinois. There were problems at Indiana, Oklahoma, and then now, over the last 15 years, I mean, he's built a really solid program at Houston. And now he's got them in the Final Four. And
for the first time in my lifetime. The last time they were in the Final Four, I was -3 years old.
Yeah. They made it 3 years in a row with the Phi Slamma Jamma team, with Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler.
That team's looked a little differently after Clyde Drexler was the coach there for about an hour.
You said that this morning, and I had forgotten that.
He was Isaiah Thomas bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He weren't as great a coach as he was a player.
But you find that a lot.
Yeah, which is why I always laugh at people that say, "Oh, I played blah blah blah. I know more." No, you don't.
Yeah.
You were slightly athletic. That doesn't mean you know jack shit about this game.
Right.
just the way it is.
I mean, you look at it like Clyde Drexler, you would think that because he was an all-time great player in the NBA that he would know how to coach.
Can we be real honest? Can you name any coach that's true for? You were a great player and you became a great coach?
Not really.
Worst coach in NBA history is Magic Johnson. Not close, not debatable. Worst coach in NBA history. Arguably the greatest point guard that ever lived. Not arguably the worst coach that ever lived.
Right.
And one of the worst talk show hosts ever.
I have wiped the images of that out of my mind.
The Magic Hour?
The Magic Hour, yeah.
Oh, that was stuff. That was stuff. That was just the tits. I remember that back in the mid-90s. I remember watching that at 8 going, I don't know, this should be on television.
Maybe we should Mystery Science Theater 3000 those things.
All the way in.
Can we get the rights to play the Magic Hour and then
Jonathan
just make fun
Welch
of it?
had a good one. Larry Bird actually was a good coach.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah.
He was a good coach for like an hour.
Okay.
With Reggie Miller.
Yeah. I mean, he had the Indiana Pacers. They were a playoff team.
They went to the finals.
Tutelage. Yeah. Yeah.
They went to the finals and got smacked around by Kobe Bryant.
But, I mean, that's an exception to the rule. I mean, hell, Terry Porter. Terry Porter went to fucking Portland and just...
Weird flex, bro.
No, I'm just saying he's another guy that you would expect. Sure, he was a great player and he should be a great coach.
I do like how I preface this with elite player and you missed the word elite. All you heard was player. Hey, he played. They all played. For the vast majority, they all played. Some of them just played really well.
What are you saying? Terry Porter wasn't good?
He wasn't. One of these things is not like the others. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Terry Porter. That's like going Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, Cam Newton.
You have a very limited window to choose from.
What, of elite players that have coached?
Right.
Oh, there's way more than you think. Oh, there's way more than you think.
All right. I mean, we were talking about this the week that you were gone. ESPN did a list. They ranked all of the coaches that were in the field of 68 based on their playing days. And, of course, Patrick Ewing was the number one. He was the best player who is now a coach. And then Juwan Howard was 2. And I believe Bryce Drew was 3. That's how thin it got and how good the coaches that were in the tournament this year were as players. Of course, the last one on the list was Will Wade, who didn't even play in high school. Like, never played basketball.
And I have zero issue. I have no qualm with that
No,
whatsoever.
I don't either. But what I'm saying is, you wouldn't think that the guy who never played basketball would be a better coach than Terry Porter.
Mike Ditka. There's a good one.
For what?
Elite players that were coaches.
Oh, that were coaches. Okay.
I pulled up a list because I didn't plan on talking about
I was
this.
only just thinking basketball.
Bart Starr. Oh, Rich Kotite, go fuck yourself. God bless America. God, you could have kicked me in the dick and it wouldn't have bothered me any less than seeing Rich Kotite's name on this screen.
Yep. See, that's karma coming back to you.
Oh, now I'm mad. Now I didn't get to have my breakfast. Things are not good. Tank left my damn microphone on. I ain't got a damn clue what I said, but apparently I was singing at some point. We're off to a foul start this morning.
We were off to the Team America start. You got to get geared up for the.
Oh, is that what I was singing?
That's what we were singing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is,
fuck yeah.
If you're offended, fuck you.
If you're offended, you're probably not watching this show.
This is very true.
We don't tend to do content for people that offend easily.
This is very true. But I mean, it's just an amazing story. Over the last 15 years, Kelvin Sampson getting Houston back to the Final Four. Or getting back to the Final Four with Houston, I guess I should say. Because this is his first trip since he was at Oklahoma to the Final Four. And then you look at the other game that happened last night, and, yesterday on the ESPN Asheville show, we were ranking the coaches left in the Elite Eight. We're 2 for 2 so far with our ranking system, as Scott Drew, who was my 2 on the list, finally gets to the Final Four after just I mean, bringing a program from the brink of disaster. Actually, they were in disaster. They weren't on the brink of disaster. They were in disaster.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, Google it.
Yeah.
It was about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, teammate killed another teammate. It was not in a good place when he got hired away from Valpo. And now he's had his team since, what was it?
03.
So, yeah, he took over in 03. In 05, I think they made their first tournament. And since then, they've missed the tournament 4 times in the last 12 years. It's an incredible story, and that finally ends in success with Baylor getting the win last night over Arkansas, 81-72. I mean, it was close a couple of times in the second half, but for the most part, Baylor just cruised.
I still love Eric Musselman, and I still love Moses Moody.
Absolutely. But Davion Mitchell did a job on Moses Moody.
I will
last
say
night.
this: if I give a sweeping declaration of a really good team's going to get beat, you should probably take that team and bet your soul on it. Because that's now 2 times that I have done very poorly.
It is. You've what was it, Gonzaga?
Against Oklahoma.
Yeah, you stuck your flag on Oklahoma to beat Gonzaga.
Hey, Oklahoma only lost by 20. Nail biter.
I mean, at least this one was a lot closer for you. At one point in the first half, it didn't look like that. At one point in the first half, I think Baylor was up by 18, and I was a happy camper. You know me, Mr. Blind Spot for old Macy O'Teague, who had 22 points last night.
Yeah, he did stuff. He's good at basketball.
I'm telling you, man, that whole team is just good, and I still maintain they are firmly the second best team.
Well, I think it's funny that we all overreact to, oh my God, look at all these double-digit seeds. Yeah, guess what? The Final Four is going to be 3 1s and a 2.
Yeah, and that was kind of my point when you were gone, and I was saying it looks like chalk coming down to the end. Now, obviously, I was completely wrong about the number of double-digit seeds that were able to not only win games but make runs. I didn't think we'd have 12 seeds and 15 seeds in the Sweet 16. But this was kind of the point I was getting at, was that the top of college basketball is so good that we're going to end up with probably 3 1s and a 2 in the Final Four. I just had the wrong 2. My 2 was Alabama.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Yeah.
I had Arkansas.
You had Arkansas in the Final Four?
I did.
Uh-huh.
I did. I'm actually almost out of things.
What do you mean? Oh, nobody
The only
left.
team I have left is Gonzaga.
Did you pick them to win a national championship?
No.
No, unfortunately. That's the only good thing left about my bracket.
Well, I figured I needed to be contrarian because of the however many entries we had, like 70% of them had Gonzaga winning it.
Oh, yeah.
Another 25% had Baylor winning
Well,
it.
I mean, it was just, it's kind of been a foregone conclusion for everybody since Gonzaga, ran the table this year and beat good teams in the non-conference to do it. I get that it was early in the season when they beat those teams and those teams got better, but yeah, Gonzaga did too. And that's the thing. And they were doing that with a freshman in Jalen Suggs, who doesn't play like a freshman. He does not play like a freshman. But that kid's going to carry him to a national championship. And it pisses me off that Mark Few is going to get his best recruit ever next year? I saw that the other day.
No, Jalen Suggs is his best recruit ever. Jalen Suggs was a top 5 recruit.
But he was not a 5-star guard.
Yes, he was. Jalen Suggs was a 5-star guard. He was the number 5 recruit in the country.
Okay.
The only guys ahead of him were Evan Mobley and Cade Cunningham. And Jalen Greene that went to the NBA, or went to the G League.
Okay.
Yeah, Jalen Suggs is the best recruit they've ever had, and it's not close.
All right. The story the other day was that the highest.
Good.
Right.
But he's like 15th.
But the story I read said that it was the highest graded guy they have ever had.
You need to stay off 24/7. We do work for ESPN. You should probably use their rankings.
Use their rankings?
I mean, it's, what the fuck do I know?
Okay. Hunter Salas.
Yeah, he's like top 15 in the country, I think.
Yep. 5-star guard commits to Gonzaga. They're probably going to get another 7-foot kid who's a 5-star guard.
Yeah,
it's never
they're
going
probably
to
going to get
end.
Walker Kessler too.
I don't know. I think he's going to go to Georgia.
He might. That's who it's down to.
Yeah, I think he'll end up going to Georgia. I mean, he had a brother that played there. His dad played there. He's from Georgia. And, you can go there and you can be a star and end up being the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Now, I'm not saying that Walker Kessler's going to do that.
Yeah, but if you want to win a game in the tournament, you probably should go to Gonzaga.
That's not wrong. You're not wrong about that. But the fact that they're bringing in another 5-star 7-foot guy, part of me believes that, part of the reason Walker left Carolina is because he wasn't getting a shot, because he wasn't getting playing time, and he knew he was going to have a hard time getting playing time next year as well. Like when he came in, they promised him he was going to play the Luke May role. That the offense was basically going to run through him.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
It didn't work out. And he saw the writing on the wall that we didn't live up to expectations this year. Garrison's probably not going to get drafted, so Garrison will probably exercise his extra year of eligibility to come back next year.
He certainly won't get drafted.
No. Armando Bacot's still going to be around. Day'Ron Sharp's going to go into the draft, but
I did enjoy Caleb Love saying, "I'm coming back to Carolina," and every Carolina fan went, "Really? Are you sure? Do you have to?"
That's not true.
Maybe you could go somewhere else.
That's not true at all. It was a joyous moment when we found out that Caleb Love was coming back.
No, it was a joyous moment when I found out Caleb Mills was coming to Florida State.
Could you imagine this Houston team with Caleb Mills on it?
I thought that literally the entire time I was watching that game.
Right.
Caleb Mills was the preseason AAC Player of the Year.
Yep.
Arguably better than Quentin Grimes. He transferred out 4 games into the season.
Mm-hmm. They'd be a number 1 seed in this tournament.
They very well could have been anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Especially once we figured out the Big Ten was nothing but smoke and mirrors.
Oh, poor Big Ten. Poor Big Ten.
The Big Ten was the frat boy at the bar. They had just been macking on 2s. Closers, oh, no.
Right.
Then they went to the sorority bar, and it was like,
yeah. It was all a lot of 6s. They were all a lot of 6s just mingling together. And they thought that they were the kings of the crop, and then, like you said, they got to the better bar with the 10s and went, well,
yeah, the Big Ten lived by the George Carlin philosophy. I never banged a 10, but one time I got 5 2s.
Hey, I
count that.
I can't talk shit. Wisconsin beat the hell out of Carolina, so I don't have a dog in this fight. I can't say,
we
Big
lost to
Ten's
Michigan,
completely
so
overrated.
What am I allowed to say?
Right, exactly. Michigan is the one that has survived.
Michigan beat us like hell.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan beat us so bad that I tapped out on watching it.
Right.
That's rare. Very rarely do I just go, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, it was about, 12 minutes to go in the game? I got that text message. I'm out. I can't do it
I'm
anymore.
done. I can't.
So then it was on me, and I didn't care enough to pull you through.
Yeah, that's about how I felt about the NASCAR dirt race yesterday, too.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
What a fucking disaster that was. Kevin Vick was there, and good on you, man. But I mean, was it as bad in person as it looked on television?
Did you have dust in your ears right now? Because there seemed to be a lot of
that. Was his first comment in the feed today was, I'm cleaning the dirt out of my ears.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like that.
It was.
So they have the bright idea of, we're going to pour dirt on the asphalt at Bristol. Mm-hmm. That sounds like a great plan, right? Well, except for one thing. You ran this race at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You ever been driving down the interstate and you got shit on your windshield, you're out of windshield wiper fluid, and the sun hits it and you go, if I die, I die. That was 250 laps of a NASCAR race yesterday.
Right.
Restarts were insane. They would take off and it would just be like, hell, I don't know.
Right.
I got to go this far and then turn. I don't know if somebody's there. I don't know if there's another car there. It doesn't matter. We're doing stuff.
The one
which I feel like this is a perfect opportunity, since yesterday they did run tires with tread on them. So we're halfway home of the 2 things that I've always said make no sense about NASCAR. Mm-hmm. So now we have tires with tread. Halfway home. Why do you not have fucking windshield wipers? Or headlights? never made a lick of fucking sense to me.
I understand.
We can't have windshield wipers on the car. Oh, you mean so you can drive in the rain? Because it does that a lot.
Windshield wipers, we like those little tearaway sheets. The tearaway sheets, we can't get away from that.
Get you a pair of Bosch wiper blades. It's a sponsorship opportunity. Look, buy Bosch's shit because now we can run a race in the rain.
No, Bosch has the bolts. They can't. Every supplier has to have their own pieces. So Bosch has the bolts, and we've got the tearaway. I don't even know, like, why would you think that that's the most efficient way to do that?
Is it better than what happened yesterday? I'm driving
yesterday
into a
immediately
dirt storm.
Worse. Because, I mean, they were going in and out of everybody's radio. And, of course, Kyle Busch is my guy. So
Kyle Busch
he was pissed.
He was so happy.
He was big mad. He was just like, I can't see shit.
I do really like that all of the dirt guys ran like shit.
Yeah.
Like, this guy grew up raised on dirt. I think Kyle Larson just hit somebody else. He hit somebody else on the way home.
Well,
he went to Walmart and was bouncing his shopping cart off the aisles.
Right. And that was when there was dirt on the track. Because by the end of the race, it didn't look like there was any dirt left.
Vic just shit on my idea for windshield wipers.
What'd he say?
You do realize I'm being funny, right? Like, I know all of that. I'm not expecting them to run at Talladega in the rain. I do get very frustrated when I look forward to a NASCAR race and they're like, oh, it's raining. Well, it's unfortunate we never figured out how to drive cars in the rain.
Right.
Sucks. I know that always screws up my day when it's raining and I can't come to work because I can't drive a car in the rain.
I mean, that's going to tip the scales. The what? I mean, a pair of windshield wipers can't weigh all that much. Even the gear to make it run can't weigh all that much.
This is coming from a guy that installed one pair of windshield wipers incorrectly.
Hey, I didn't say I could install it or do the work on your car.
I have to tell this story because it's too funny for me not to. So, tons of fun over here. Needed a new set of windshield wipers.
Yeah.
So he goes to a local auto parts store.
Yep.
And this lovely older woman sells them to him, and then asked if he needed help putting them on. And pried over here and said, "No, I got this." Yeah, one of them flew off driving down the interstate. That's a thing he did. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just driving down the road and whoop,
there it went.
Oh shit! Whoop, and it was raining too, wasn't it? So he had one side that was just.
It was not raining at the moment. It was an unfortunate windshield washing accident. I love the part that you left out of that story of, I tried to get you to help me and you couldn't figure it out either.
Bitch, do you think anybody thinks I'm handy? Really? Do you think anybody looks at me and goes, that's a grown man that wears a lot of jewelry. I bet he can fix some shit.
It was my grandfather watching down from heaven, who was an auto mechanic. Really, I could just imagine his face just. He used to do the same thing. Every time I'd get in trouble, he'd just look down at me and go, son? And then he wouldn't say anything. He just, because that's all he could muster. And then I got one of those. I got one of those from heaven, from old Papaw, because he was not happy with me that day.
We should change our tagline to "We do sports, not wiper blades."
Yes.
We don't fix shit.
No.
You give me a hammer and I'm gonna break some shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, are you surprised this is coming from the same guy who, when he had air conditioner trouble at his new house, he started it with a rock? That's me.
Then he called my dad to fix it.
Yeah.
And he did.
Your dad gets there, who is, a 40-year electrician, and he gets there and he looks at it and he goes, "You been hitting this thing with a rock?" I went, "Yep.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah. I have, because I found that one rock, and if I hit it right in the center of that blade, that damn thing just starts spinning again."
My wife just commented, "Secret time, I replaced the wipers in our house." Shit, you're wrong. If things get fixed at my house, she does it.
Hot and works on cars. You really hit the lottery there, bro.
Did. Yeah, and what's real fun is when she does shit like that, and I have to go cook dinner in a dress. Because I will.
You will.
I'll do it. I don't care.
Sure.
Look, I'm not too proud.
Right. He's not one of my finest moments. It's really not.
Look, I'm the same guy
and then I had to take the damn things back to her. That was the worst part, was taking them back to the store and going, hey, are you the one that helped me the other day?
You remember that assistance you offered? I'm going to need that.
Can you help me out with this? And she gets out there and she takes it because it was completely broken. And so I had to buy a new one. And I bought the new one and she puts it on there. And then she looks at the other one and she goes, that one's on backwards. And okay, can you show me how to fix it? She goes and she takes it. And she takes it off the thing and she goes, well, you broke the shit out of that one. You're going to have to. So I had to buy all new set of fucking wiper blades because I'm an idiot.
They'll usually get two, so, you know, stands to
Well, I thought just the one that had fallen off was broken. The other one was fine. It was still on there. It was on there backwards.
I honest to God thought he was going to have a mop just wiping off his windshield with his left hand.
I've done it before.
I'm the same guy that Long did a joke on stage of anytime I see somebody standing on the road with their hood up, the only thing I can think about is they're looking at their engine going, damn, I wonder what that does.
Yeah. No, sorry, armchair commentary. You're all out of luck on that one. I can't help you on hockey.
I mean, I will say this. I shared a story. We did this on our ESPN radio show a few weeks ago, but I think it was before I went on vacation, that in Wisconsin they pulled a guy over that had a lawn chair as the seat in his car.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think was, Tank's about one more trip to AutoZone away from being that guy.
Yep. Pretty much. It's kind of my shtick with cars.
For those of you that have never seen his vehicle, it should bother you. He drives on the same roads as you. Yeah. Because I could literally see a path that one day that thing's just driving and all four tires just go, fuck this.
Out.
And they all four go in opposite directions. Right. And he turns into Fred Flintstone just sliding down the interstate.
Yeah.
Yabba dabba do. How the fuck did we get here?
I don't know.
In all honesty, these are the most fun shows for me.
We were talking about college basketball, and somehow we wound up on wiper blades.
Yeah, we talked about NASCAR, too, at some point.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, the dirt race was awful.
Yes.
It was not good. And like I said...
hey, and guess what? They're going to do it again, and I'm good with it. You know what? I'll be really honest with you. I don't care. I watched it. I would wager a lot of people watched it that wouldn't normally have watched the Bristol race. Mm-hmm. And you know why? Because we like watching cars bounce off each other. Mm-hmm. That's what we like. We like it. Cars are safer than they've ever been, and you're going like 12 miles an hour. So it's not like anybody got hurt.
Well, it won't happen again.
100%. They've already said it'll happen again.
Really?
100%. Yeah, they've already said it'll happen again.
No way.
100%.
Because watching...
Hell, the Charlotte Roval said they want to do that on dirt.
Oh, God.
All the way in. It'll take you 9 years to get that much dirt on that track.
Like a rally race.
Oh,
just dirt and gravel and sticks and just shit everywhere. No. I don't know. Watching it yesterday, I felt like everybody knew the abomination that it was. And as the Fox crew was signing off, and Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer were up in the booth. They were just, well, it's fun to watch this one, guys, and you know, it's I really wanted to be out there with them drivers. I know they had a real good time, and it was fun to see something historic. And then that was the end of it, because they knew, or at least that's the way it came off to me. They knew this was not going to happen again.
Oh, it's happening again. I like how he tried to do my Larry McReynolds impression. Larry McReynolds has the greatest job in all of sports. He just has a bunch of shit. Like, I loved it yesterday. They went to him and they said, this is a normal tire. Notice it doesn't have tread. We're racing on dirt, and this one does. His actual analysis was, it has these grooves, so the dirt will go out the side. Back to you. Fuck yes, I want that job. I think I could do that job. I couldn't put that tire on a car, but I could absolutely have explained that's why there's grooves in that fucking tire.
Right.
I wish they had that in basketball. Like, the basketball is made of leather, and that's why when it hits the rim, sometimes it bounces because it's got too much air in it. Back to you. Oh, God. That's a John Madden.
I was getting ready to say that John Madden did football. Larry McReynolds does NASCAR. Who is the NBA's version of that?
Oh, God.
Who's college basketball broadcasting or NBA broadcasting's version of that?
Oh, it's Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
Oh, I remember when I was at Berkeley, I could smell sounds, I could taste colors. Oh, yeah, it's so the much. Pothead that chases around the Grateful Dead. I'm going to go with that one for the square mob. I was going to say Mark Jackson. Did you see him eat the
cupcake with the candle on it?
No.
Oh my God! They had cupcake. I don't even remember what the premise of it was. They had cupcakes during the broadcast.
Here's the premise: Bill Walton was higher than giraffe testicles, and he saw a cupcake and went, "Yep, I want that."
Well, the straight guy. I always forget his name. The guy that works with him.
Straight guy?
Yeah, the play-by-play guy. He's the color commentary.
Yeah, Brian and her just look at each other like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
He plays the straight man. It's not a homosexual thing there. Pudding pants. Listen.
I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck he's talking about.
He's the play-by-play guy that's with Bill Walton.
Oh, the guy.
They were holding candles that were lit. And he jokingly said you should take a bite out of it with it lit, and he just went, oh, and he was like, I was fucking kidding, dude.
That sounds about right.
God damn. Like, Bill, you have literally burned too many brain cells. It gets to a point. It's just too much.
God, I'm glad you said Bill Walton because I was going to say Mark Jackson. Yeah. Mark Jackson's pretty good for that too. But he just sounds so velvety smooth when he does it. Yeah. Hand down, man down. Mama, there go that man. Stop on a dime, give him 5-cent change. God, I love that guy.
But at least those are, at least he's got like catchphrases. It's not necessarily just bad analysis.
Zach Hurst said this has completely gone off the rails.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me ask you a theoretical question. Which is more fun for you? This or me breaking down how Andre Drummond changes the Lakers' 5-man rotation?
Where did you move the Kevin Vick Memorial Bell? Thank you. Hit that damn bell. The 49ers are out again talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and the fact that and saying that he is their guy for the future.
Jimmy Garoppolo is the NFL equivalent of the girlfriend that gets cheated on constantly and is like, he'll change. He'll change. He loves me.
They also did add the caveat that, but for the right price, you might be able to get Jimmy Garoppolo to come to your team.
Yeah, this would be like you telling your wife, I would never cheat on you. But if Eva Mendes walked through that door, I'd probably take a nap.
Look, it's fine. It's fine. We all have lists, right? You've gone through this exercise with your woman. We've all done this before.
Zach Hurst said no more sports analysis. My question would be, when did we start doing sports analysis?
It's a fair point. Absolute fair point.
We're here to tell jokes. It's actually on the screen. Put the damn thing up. It just says we tell jokes. Like, it starts with that.
Right.
There it is. Right there. I'm going to figure out this mirrored thing one day.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
You're going to keep doing it over and over again. The 49ers, though, do we believe them? Do you really think Jimmy Garoppolo is still part of the plan?
No.
Or are they just trying to get someone to bite at the apple?
Right now, I think they would give you Jimmy Garoppolo if you would pay for his plane ticket. They would send him to you.
No, it's not to that point.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Why?
I mean, when they come out and say if they gave us an aggressive offer, okay, Kyle, what constitutes an aggressive offer?
A first-round pick.
Fuck you. That's not an aggressive offer. That's a stupid offer. And nobody's going to do that, and nobody ever would do that. I think if somebody came along and said, 4, we'll give you a 4. I feel like San Francisco would go, okay. You just gave up a bajillion picks to go up and get a quarterback. You really think you're going to sit him behind Jimmy Garoppolo,
Absolutely.
Whose claim to fame is that he's the best-looking quarterback in the NFL when you make them all women? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it.
He was pretty hot.
He was
pretty hot.
Uh-huh. It wasn't bad.
But he's still, I don't know. He's still a guy who has led this team to a Super Bowl. And when he's healthy, see, that's the problem, is that he's not healthy. But when he's healthy, he is a really good quarterback for this team.
That would be like you saying you're in really good shape when your cholesterol's not through the roof. The next time we see that will be the first time that we've seen that, and I don't look for it anytime soon.
Now, Jimmy G, you have to admit, I mean, when he plays and when he's healthy, he is a good quarterback in this league, right?
He's fine. He's fine.
Oh, stop, Mr. Daniel Jones is good.
He's the ham sandwich of the NFL. You never look at a ham sandwich and go, God, that's the best ham sandwich I've ever had in my life. You eat it and go, cool, I will stay alive for 5 more hours.
I mean, I've had some really good ham sandwiches before.
I'm sure you have. Tank might have gone, this is the best. I mean, this is a guy that eats gas station hot dogs, so. Sorry, Bobby Flay, your food reviews don't mean a whole lot to me.
To find the best things in life, you have to experience everything.
There are so many jokes I want to tell right now that my brain hurts. I think my brain's actually pressing against my skull right now.
No, I think I think they're speaking the absolute truth. Unless somebody wants to come up with, and I think a 2 is the floor.
I think a 3 is the floor.
You give us a 2nd-round pick, we'll give you Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Bill Belichick's going, where do I sign up?
And at that point, I think you even think about it, depending on what team's going to give it to you. I do.
I always worry about who's going to give it to me.
I think
Chicago comes in and just trades up their next few.
Chicago is coming in. My wife did say she's made some amazing ham sandwiches. She really has. That woman can do anything. She's making a brisket right now. What up?
Nice.
I don't really serve a function around our house.
You make good chili.
I do make good chili.
And that chicken, the mayonnaise grilled chicken that you do, that's pretty good stuff.
I cook sometimes.
Yeah. Other than that,
I really serve no function.
No, you're just like a pretty little trophy for Amy. Don't we all feel like Amy's just lucky in this situation?
If I regressed one more step, Amy would have to change my diaper. Like that's.
She'd have to put the dog collar on you.
I am barely a fully functioning adult man, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I know my limitations. God made me funny, and funny goes a long way.
Did he make you able to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo, or you just want to keep waxing poetic about your own shortcomings? I think this.
Put that damn graphic up again. Mostly sports.
Most
jokes. It's all jokes. It's all we're here for. And I know that because I'm the one that does the branding. Notice that jokes came before sports. I'm literally just doing it to piss him off.
I know you are, and it's getting me sucked into it, and I don't appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding. All right. You ready? This is my life, just so you know.
Yep.
So what do you want to talk about? Jimmy Garoppolo? Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. Come on.
I mean, what are you going to say?
I want you.
They traded $1 billion picks to go get a quarterback.
Yes.
And I will say this. There's one interesting part of this to me.
Okay.
I'm not sure that they're as dead sold on Mac Jones as everybody wants to claim they are.
I don't know.
I think Trey Lance still has a shot of being this pick.
I wouldn't say you're wrong.
I mean, it tells you everything you need to know that the 49ers will not be represented at Justin Fields' pro day.
Yeah, they will.
Oh, they will? Yeah, they are sending somebody.
They are sending the vice president of football operations. He's going to see Justin Fields throw today. Mac Jones is going to have the company of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and the offensive coordinator.
Oh, so they sent all of the offensive people and they sent the ball boy to go see Justin Fields.
Yes.
Cool.
We got to do our due diligence. We just got to make sure that, and they have also said that Justin Fields is going to have another pro day. So he's going to throw again as well.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, seeing you throw more often, that's not going to help. I guarantee you whoever is doing the scouting report on Justin Fields is going to be written in crayon. They sent somebody's kid. He threw good. Wah, wah, wee, wah.
Today in Tuscaloosa, Mac Jones is going to be throwing again, which is kind of strange. But I got to be honest with you, it's becoming part of the Mac Jones legend here that he's throwing again because, one, he wants to prove that he can do more throws. He can execute more throws deeper down the field because people had questions about that. But he also wanted to show up for his teammates and throw to his wide receivers because he threw to his the first class of wide receivers at the first pro day. Now the second half of the receivers are going. Najee Harris is one of them that is going to be working out today who didn't work out at the last pro day. And Mac Jones said he felt that he owed it to his teammates to be the one to throw to them because the other receivers got him, had him throwing to them as well. Now, you and I saw this completely differently because when I saw it, I went, see, this is why people are making the comparisons between Mac Jones and Tom Brady because this is something Tom Brady would have done. I see this as Mac Jones being team guy, and he wants to be there for the other guys. Now, there's something in it for him as well. He can improve his stock, but he doesn't really need to if he's already going at 3.
Mac Jones' stock has improved so much in the course of the offseason that all he can do is hurt himself. The sheer fact you couldn't figure out how to do this for the receivers and Mac is dumb. That means somebody is doing you a disservice, and I can't help but think it was Steve Sarkisian. Had Sark not taken the Texas job, he might have been the one scripting these workouts. Mm-hmm. Or maybe he was at the bar. Who knows? I've heard he likes that.
So if you're saying if Sark had scripted the workouts, they would have done them all together?
I don't understand throwing twice. This is one of those things that I go back to with pro days. The vast majority of the time, you cannot help yourself. You can hurt yourself. If you run really slow, Oh, Brian, you're 100% right. I spelled K Adams wrong. There you go. Yeah, 100%. Somebody asked me my celebrity list in the comments, and I forgot K Adams, and that's me doing it wrong.
Yep.
Most of the time, you can't really help yourself at a pro day. Teams feel about you the way they do. But now they can see deficiencies in your mechanics. They can see flaws in the way you roll out, footwork deficiencies, things like that. People overrate pro days and have for many, many, many years. I don't understand throwing a second time. I think it's dumb. Mm-hmm. And Justin Fields could throw 10 times and it's not going to change. Justin Fields could throw a football through a wall and I'm still going to go, your mechanics suck. Alexander just said JG is a walking porcelain doll. He was talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, and I thought he was talking about me. I was about to say that is the nicest fucking thing anybody has ever said to me.
It wasn't meant to be a compliment. He's real pretty to look at, but he's very, very fragile. No, not even close.
I need those letters to be bigger. I can't see what all those buttons do. Just keep talking.
I need some sound because I can't hear anything. I don't know what buttons you're pushing.
Well, I can turn it up a little bit.
Just a hair, just a little bit, so I can hear it.
Try out.
The pro days are fun. And, I'm going to be excited to see what they can put out there on the field. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot. And, yes, I understand what you're saying about Mac Jones, that he could only hurt himself at this point if the San Francisco 49ers are sold on him at 3. But that's the thing. Maybe he doesn't know that, maybe he doesn't think that they're sold on him at 3. Maybe he hasn't gotten those assurances yet.
I'm sure he hasn't.
And so why not go out there if someone is criticizing your game and you can prove them wrong? To me, this just goes to that whole Tim Tebow mentality.
By the way, nobody's getting assurances right now. Any agent that's saying I've gotten an assurance or anything like that, they're fucking lying. Because it's a month from the day. So we're 30 days away today. Mm-hmm. Nobody's good. Zach Wilson has not gotten an assurance from the Jets. You want me to break news? I'm going to break news just like Jacksonville did yesterday. They said they're leaning towards taking Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
The Jets are leaning towards taking Zach Wilson.
Yes. But that's been the question all weekend since the trade happened with San Francisco is where are they leaning? So maybe Mac feels like he needs to throw again to make sure that everybody can see what he can do. I understand that he can only hurt himself, but also I see this as the Najee Harris story that we had, the Jalen Waddle story that we had. It's just another example of a really good teammate in Alabama. And this is why I think you're going to keep hearing more of these Tom Brady, Mac Jones comps.
I get the comp. It's a lazy comp to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We compare two dudes that look alike. You take that however you want to. I try my damnedest to not do that.
But it's not just the look. I mean, it's the attitude. It's the drive to win.
It's pretty much the look.
Okay.
Just the same way that Kyler Murray was compared to Russell Wilson. Their games are nothing alike.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that either.
Justin Harvey asked in the comments, I don't understand how people can be hyped about Mac Jones. I'll tell you why. Because mechanically, he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He fought like hell to get that job. He stuck around, and that's a big deal. He didn't transfer to Winston-Salem Technical Institute that he could start immediately.
Right.
He stuck around, he fought for the job, and he was really good at getting the ball in playmakers' hands.
Mm-hmm.
Does he do it? Does he throw a really live ball? No, not really. He's got a big enough arm, but he's really accurate. And there's a lot of, with these spread concepts and these RPOs, he's not a threat to run at all. He's not athletic in the least. But there is a merit in the spread offense to a guy that can just get the ball in the hands of the receiver. And in San Francisco, it works perfectly. Think about when San Francisco was at their best, what was Jimmy Garoppolo doing? Basically extended screen passes, extended handoffs to Deebo Samuel and now Brandon Ayuk and Kittle and get the ball in their hands and let them go. That's what Mac Jones does. Mac Jones won't win you games, he won't lose you games. And there's a merit to that. We're at a point in the league where Mac Jones is a really high-end version of Andy Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing he won't beat you, he's not going to turn the ball over, there's a merit to that.
Is it worth the third pick in the draft, though? Because, that's the question.
I would take Trey Lance over Mac Jones. Trey Lance's ceiling is markedly higher than that of Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the talent. I really like the kid. I have Mac Jones at 4. I have Justin Fields at 5.
Yeah.
And I'll be doing quarterback video. I said this in the comments. I'll be doing quarterback videos next week. I'll be able to show you what it is I'm seeing. There are some identifiers that tend to lead. If I project busts, there are certain things that I'll look for because there are certain things that virtually every one of these quarterbacks has ever had. Bad mechanics is one of them. Justin Fields has very bad mechanics. He drops his shoulder, he drops his elbow, and people will look at me and say, well, that's just not that big a deal. Yeah, it is. And see, here's the thing that you're not understanding. He went to the Big Ten where defenses are notoriously slower. The Big Ten plays slower. There's no debating that. Pace of play is slower. 40 times for defensive players are slower. It's been this way forever. And he has guys like Chris Olave and speedy wide receivers that are going to play in the NFL. And these guys just run by defenders. And a lot of the tape on Justin Fields is him throwing a 50-yard bomb that took everything in his body to get it to him, and it's 10 yards underthrown. In the NFL, it's an interception. Mm-hmm. And these are the things I'm going to show on tape because I've found a way that I'm either going to get banged for copyright or they're just not going to notice it. Because there's no steadfast rule about what's a copyright violation.
It's a hell of a roll of the dice.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're doing stuff. We hadn't had any of those in a long time. And he asked me, do I not think that can be corrected? It can be. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem in the NFL. He's going to be, depending on where he goes, it depends on how he's going to be coached. We're not in a patient place in the NFL anymore. If you take a guy in the top 5, top 10, he's going to play in the first year. It's one of the things that scares me about Trey Lance, too, It's just I think the ceiling on Trey Lance is so much higher because he can do so many different things. Trey Lance could be the player that everybody wanted to convince me Cam Newton was for an extended period of time. He's that good of a runner. I just feel like he can fake it until he makes it. Do you remember the hit Justin Fields took in the national title game where Skowski just drilled him in the back?
Yeah.
He's going to take a lot of those in the NFL because he doesn't know how to protect himself. And that's a problem. Justin Fields is a guy that I could easily see getting hurt at Pat White syndrome. Love Pat to death. However, he had no ability to take care of himself. And so when he runs to the sideline, he tries to get that extra foot and gets killed by Troy Polamalu and never plays again. Those are things I see on tape. And I understand people not wanting to hear it. It's what, as an evaluator, I see. Mac Jones is the safest quarterback in this draft. That's not debatable.
Okay.
If you told me there were 5 quarterbacks that went in the first round, 4 of them were busts, and one of them played 10 years in the league and was good but never great, I would say Mac Jones was the safe one. He's the guy he's safer than Trevor Lawrence.
Well, that leads me to believe that this is San Francisco's path. San Francisco, I think that's what they want. They want a guy who's not going to fuck it up.
And that's entirely possible. San Francisco plans on winning football games by playing really good defense, running the ball in that zone blocking scheme, and not turning the damn ball over. That screams Mac Jones to me. Now, if you want to be on the high end winning Super Bowls, I think you need a guy like Trey Lance. Because Trey Lance can be that guy too.
Right.
He's just going to need some work. He doesn't come as ready-made as Mac Jones. And I'll be honest with you, I can't believe nobody grizzled at me saying Mac Jones is safer than Trevor Lawrence.
No, I'm not going to gristle at that because I do have some concerns about Trevor's durability. So
my fear is that Cam Robinson's not a top 20 in the NFL left tackle, and you just franchised him like he was Joe Thomas.
Yeah,
that scares me. And name me every 6'6" quarterback that's been real successful in the NFL. I'll wait.
I understand.
There haven't been any.
I think he's by far the most talented quarterback in this draft.
I agree with you. His ceiling is astronomical. He could be 6'6" John Elway. Wouldn't shock me in the least. But there are reservations there too.
Yeah.
And the more you watch the tape, the more those show up. That's the reason guys like Phil Simms' kid, Chris Simms, has Zach Wilson at 1. Zach Wilson does not have – every drawback on Zach Wilson is either one-year wonder or character. That's it. There are no other drawbacks. He can make every throw. He's got a very prototypical NFL body. He came in at 6'2", which is vaguely where we all wanted him to be. You know, there was a fear he was going to be like 6 flat, and that wouldn't have been good.
Right.
But other than that, I would say Zach Wilson's safer than Trevor Lawrence is. His ceiling's nowhere near as high.
Yeah. San Francisco moving up to 3. I believe them when they say Jimmy's still a part of this plan. Unless they get an overwhelming offer. Because I don't believe that the fan base is going to be that uproarious if Jimmy comes out and plays well.
That boy ain't right.
I get moving up to 3 is a big deal. But like they said, they felt like they were going to get left without a seat at the table. This was their opportunity to go up and get one. And you know what? You couldn't get up to 2. You get up to 3, and now you've got your choice of the 3 quarterbacks. Now, you said that you don't think they would have moved up unless they had their eye on someone.
Here's the thing. The Jets and 49ers coaching staffs are very well connected because that's where Rob Salah and several of these coaches came from. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Salah or Joe Douglas or any of the others have told San Francisco we're taking Zach Wilson. I think there's a lot of reading tea leaves going, this is what's going to happen, because it's very hard at this point. It would borderline be impossible for Joe Douglas to pass on him at this point. So I think they went up to 3 going, that's not the guy we're after. We'd like to have had him.
Right.
But we feel really good about whether it's Trey Lance or Mac Jones.
Well, they've said of the 5 quarterbacks, the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft, they saw 3 guys who could be their starters. They know one's going to be gone at 1, one's going to be gone at 2, so that leaves you with your 3rd. We just don't know who their 3rd is.
I would say it's Mac Jones.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning.
There's a lot of, I mean, we're 30 days out here. So there's a lot of things that can happen, and I'm going to be right here to give you everything I hear because this is my favorite month of the year. April's my favorite month of the year because this is where all the rumors, and I'll be here to cut through all the bullshit because I have people that will straight up tell me, no, don't buy that.
Yeah.
Don't buy that. Don't buy that. Don't buy that. Don't buy that. You know, I famously said last year, the Detroit Lions want to trade down. They can't. You know why? Because somebody specifically told me that would know.
Last thing I wanted to mention before we sign off today, how much I love Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky, talking about the Sam Darnold thing, he put out a list today, 3 places he'd like to see Sam Darnold go. 1 was Denver, makes a lot of sense. 2 was Carolina, same thing. 3 was Tampa Bay. And I thought, now you're just saying shit to say shit. Because there's no vision of that ever happening. I don't think there is, that's even in the plan. I think we know the plan for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's not about the future at this point. It's about the right now. It's about what we can do right now. He does have a point, though. It would be a hell of a succession plan to Tom Brady. But you're not going to hold on to the guy for 2 years to make that happen. But the phone keeps ringing, I'm sure, for Joe Douglas about Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's going to wind up somewhere. And I think Carolina and Denver are the 2.
And you still think it's going to be one of their first-round picks? The 8 or the 9?
I believe that's what it may boil down to a 2 and getting nothing else back. So you have to give a 2 outright as opposed to getting that pick in the top 10 and giving up your early pick on day 2.
Yeah.
May settle that way. These people say it's going to be a 3 or a 4. You know, there was a report yesterday that 3 NFL GMs said that. Yeah, guess what? I bet none of the 3 of them need a quarterback. I bet you ask the GM of the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, and Seattle or Green Bay. We would never give up more than a 3. Okay. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Because Sam Darnold again is what, 24?
He will be 24 in June.
He will be.
And I got
24.
news for you. When the lights turn on, that girl with the good personality is.
To go show right up.
She's a 2 at 10 and a 10 at 2.
All right, we will be with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, live or on demand live every afternoon, though, at 3 o'clock. And we'll be back with you here tomorrow morning in the Wicked Weed studio. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different. See you at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Wow, winning.